Hello everyone, today I'm going to play through Luigi's Lost Levels, which is a mod of New Super Luigi U for Wii U that I recently released. This is mostly a level pack of levels I made throughout 2023 before Super Mario Wonder released, and I recently decided to just tie up all of my loose ends when it comes to New Super Mario Bros. Modding, so that's why I decided to release this mod. Apart from the levels, there's also some other cool stuff that you'll see throughout this playthrough, such as the custom soundtrack made by Rimea Music, or also, I suppose, this slightly edited menu here, where you can see that because this is only a one-world mod, we have the single flag here. It's a bit different from how it looks in the original game. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the mod. As you can see, the opening cutscene here is just this simple image here, which is a very standard thing for New Super Mario Bros. U mods to do, because a couple of years ago we figured out how to replace the opening cutscene with an image like that, so we just have a jingle, and I think it's fine for the mod to not have any kind of story or anything like that. I think that's okay. Also, as you'll see right here, we have a slightly edited roadmap. I don't think anyone's going to be able to even really tell this, but the lighting has been changed a little bit, and that's because half of this world is made up of desert levels, so that's also why it's called Acorn Prairie and not Acorn Plains, because I kind of wanted to reflect the fact that half of this world isn't like an overworld style, so therefore the lighting is a little different and whatnot. Yeah, but without further ado, let's get into the first level, which is called Pop-Up Plains. So all of these levels in this mod were not meant to be in the level slots that they ended up in. So for example, this was meant to be 1-3 of the original intended version of this mod, but it ended up being 1-1 instead, and I think that's fine because in general, of course, in Luigi U, things got a bit wacky, and the mechanics kind of showed up in random levels, and so therefore I think it's fine for 1-1 here to be this slightly strange level that features these spike enemies and whatnot. And I think the moving semi-solids, which are sort of the main mechanic for this level, still work pretty decently as a sort of introductory mechanic for this mod. Also in general, I mean, this mod is, I think, even more difficult on average than the Luigi U levels already were in the original game, so therefore the fact that this first level here is already pretty tricky, I think is fine. Yeah, but as you can see here, for example, here the semi-solids now rotate. Earlier we had the semi-solids sort of popping up from below the ground, and that's a cool mechanic I came up with last year, I guess. Like I talked about, I made all of these levels last year. I made them all in time-lapse videos that you can see on this channel if you want. And that's basically what I was doing with my channel before Super Mario Bros. Wonder released. But then when Wonder came out, I realized that was a bit more of a relevant thing for my channel, and I also felt way more motivated to work on Wonder levels as opposed to the Luigi U levels. So this project sort of remained dormant for a while and nearly got cancelled. But then recently I realized I might as well put some effort into polishing these levels up a little bit and releasing them mod. Like I discussed at the beginning, we also have a custom soundtrack in this mod, once again made by Rimea Music, who also worked on the soundtrack for Super Mario and the Crystal Crescents. There was an 8-bit Luigi there, but I can't go back to show it again because I just realized we're nearly running out of time for this level, because of course these levels do have the 100-second timer, just like the original Luigi U levels, and I think that's good. I really actually quite enjoyed making these shorter levels last year, because just being able to take like one or two ideas and basically stretch them out over a very short level is, I think, very satisfying for a level designer, because it means you can sort of just throw mechanics into the player's face without feeling bad about it. So for example here, like, we have a bramble and a snake block right away, and there's no need to introduce everything individually because the levels are so short anyways. Also, this is an auto-scroller level, which I suppose is kind of not normal for Luigi U levels. I feel like those usually tend to be non-auto-scrollers, because it's difficult to design an auto-scroller to be only 100 seconds short. But I think I managed to make it work for this level, and this is one of those auto-scroller levels where like it wouldn't work as a normal level with like normal free camera movements because of the way the snake blocks line up and whatnot. And also brambles are a very broken mechanic that don't really work well unless you can really like set them up in a very specific way. Also, I'm getting the secret exit here, which is something I added for the release of this mod specifically because I wanted the player to be able to actually reach the beach level here. Also down here you can see that this is where the 8-bit Luigi is for this level. But yeah, here we go. So things just kind of worked out in a way to where I happened to make one beach level for the mod before it got, well, before I stopped working on it, basically. So that's how I ended up with Puffer Palm Bluffs here in the World 1 secret level, which is just, yeah, it works out really nicely because there happens to be this one beach level in World 1 that I could include in this level pack version of the mod, and that actually sort of fits with the world map and whatnot. Yeah, so the idea for this level and what was originally supposed to be a whole world in the original idea for this mod was to use underwater mechanics above water, basically. So we have these cheap jeeps here, for example, which have spikes on their head because you can't jump on them, and they're just flying. And we have the clampy shell enemies, and we have urchins here, obviously. And also these moving palm trees, which are really cool. These are actually remodeled mushroom platforms. And yeah, I'm just a big fan of the selection of mechanics I decided to use for this level, and I'm honestly kind of sad that this idea won't end up being used in any kind of mod because yeah, like I think I could have done a lot more with the idea of using underwater mechanics above water, basically. But still, this level is pretty cool, and I guess having it as a one-off like this is also sort of unique. Here's the very strange thing where you can jump on this shell enemy, or it's not even an enemy really, but you can jump on him and enter the pipe like this. And that leads us to this bonus room here, where I kind of expanded upon that idea, and yeah, just a very strange setup in a level full of very strange setups. Also, I really love the visuals for this level that I made with the tile set and whatnot. It's just that sort of aesthetic looks really nice, I think. And also we have a custom background made by Willy Maker. So yeah, just a big fan of that level, especially in terms of like its ideas and like visuals and whatnot. Maybe the actual execution of the mechanics isn't that amazing, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Look, this message has been changed. Good job, us. Yeah, so I kind of grew bored towards the end of development, so I changed some random stuff like this, for example. Did you know this is Rimea's 10th and final New Super Mario Bros. U mod? Yeah, so that's a fun fact about this mod, I guess. It's my 10th NSMBU mod, and I'm not planning on making any more, so it's also my final NSMBU mod. And I guess that's counting this as an NSMBU mod, even though it's technically a Luigi U mod, but I think it's all the same, basically. The first Rimea mod was released in 2017, so that's more than 7 years of NSMBU modding. Yeah, that's also true, obviously. That was a cloudy SMBU. This mod was originally supposed to be much bigger, but plans changed. If you press this button, you actually crash Simu, the Wii U emulator, which is what I'm recording this on, so I'm going to press this one instead. So that's why the second half of this world is mostly made up of desert levels. Wow, amazing. Anyways, we never did finish 1-2, so let's go back to that. So earlier when we went on top of this snake block here, we went into the pipe to the left there, but you can also use this to get the second star coin right there. And I mean, that's a very simple star coin, but I think that's fine because when you think about it, the original Luigi U also has very simplistic star coins quite a lot of the time. And I still think this mod star coins are much more complicated and interesting on average. And I suppose, speaking of which, this is also where the third star coin is hidden, which, yeah, that's all very close together, but that's just sort of due to how, you know, because of how short Luigi U levels are. And yeah, I really like the vibe of this level, just with the music in the background and whatnot. The design is also pretty interesting, though, perhaps because of the auto-scrolling and whatnot, the level is a little bit limited in how much it can do. You can jump on that bramble there to get to the top of the flagpole, but you can also jump down here. And as you can see now, we can jump up to the top of the flagpole like this, which is sort of similar to what I did for the secret exit, I suppose. But I think it's pretty fun just hiding the snake block like that. So now it's time for Stone Eye Spire, which there's actually something interesting about this level, which is that originally this wasn't supposed to be a tower level, even though it was always a vertical level, of course. But you can still see on my channel that originally this level was just a normal sort of vertical desert level, but I ended up having to turn it into a tower level because I didn't have any tower levels for this mod, and I like the idea of still sort of sticking to the themes of the levels on the world map, at least as far as I could. So yeah, this is a tower level now, and I think it works pretty well as a tower. I still kept the vertical cloud background, which is actually sort of custom, by the way. There is no vertical desert cloud background in the original game, so I had to recolor the original like blue cloud background and make it orange-ish to match with this level's theme, and I think that looks very good. The mechanics for this level are honestly not that interesting. I don't think the design for this level is like amazing or anything. It's just fuzzies and moving stone eye platform guy things. You know, those weird Moai looking statues from the original game. And I guess you also have bouncy clouds. I don't know, I just don't think using bouncy clouds in a vertical level like this is that good of an idea in hindsight, because the bouncy clouds bounce you up so high that you can't even see the bouncy clouds like once you moved up, which makes the whole thing just sort of awkward with the way the camera works and whatnot. And yeah, this level is also very short, I feel like. I mean, I guess I'm sort of running low on time, but still, like, I already got the third star coin there, and now it's time for the boss fight. So yeah, I don't know, not my favorite level in the mod, but I guess it's fine. Also, during the last couple of weeks of development for this mod, I told Rimea, the composer for the mod, that like, oh, I wanted to release the levels, and I was just going to release these levels with like the few music tracks that he'd composed up until that point. But he actually insisted on making a full soundtrack, basically. So, for example, the tower theme that you heard earlier there was made in the last couple of weeks of development, and yeah, I'm a big fan of how the soundtrack turned out. I think it sounds great. But for example, for the boss theme here, this is just taken straight from the Crystal Crescent soundtrack that Rimea also composed. Because something like a boss fight that only occurs once in the mod doesn't like need a fully custom original theme, that just didn't seem like it would be worth the effort in this case. Alright, now let's play Prickly Protrusions, which is the first of the real proper desert levels in this mod. And I think this level is alright. I do have a sort of issue with it, which is also something that Rimea, who also playtested the mod, pointed out to me, which is that this level involves a lot of waiting for like the stretch blocks and for the pokies and with the donut blocks and whatnot, and forcing the player to wait around is not really a good idea in the case of a Luigi U level, because of course there's such a strict time limit. And you also see in the bonus room that like, yeah, just waiting is a sort of weirdly large part of this level. But still, I do think a lot of the setups in this level are quite cool with the way the stretch blocks and the pokies interact. Like, for example, here, how this pokey sort of blocks your path into the pipe down below, but you can just barely squeeze through like this. And even though this bonus room does involve a lot of waiting, I do really like this this bonus room setup here. As you can see, the pokies that fall into place and get pushed around by the stretch block. I think that just looks really cool. And yeah, when I figured this out when I was working on this level, I was so happy because it's just such a cool setup. And it's also quite tricky, but also I think quite fair, because you can obviously see the pokey drop in and come from the right, so it's like pretty easy to predict what's going to happen. So yeah, that bonus room honestly is probably the best part of this entire level. Apart from that, it's not as interesting as I would have liked, but I guess it's fine, I don't know. For the third star coin here, you can see that there's a question mark block indicated here that you can hit, and that spawns the third star coin up here. That's a pretty simple star coin, but I guess star coins are allowed to be pretty simple in the Luigi U levels, like I've talked about already. I guess we might as well grab Baby Yoshi here, because I did actually check to make sure all of the levels sort of worked with Baby Yoshi. And also Baby Yoshi says, "You look like you've lost your levels," which I think is kind of funny. Yeah, so let's use him in 1-4 here, which is called Milling Mushrooms. And this is actually the first level that I made for this mod, though at the time I didn't really know that I was working on a mod specifically. I was just making levels for fun, basically. And I guess actually something weird about this level, or the fact that I just grabbed Baby Yoshi for this level, is the fact that you actually have to use a shell, or at least I intend for the player to use a shell to kill this piranha plant here for the first star coin. So that doesn't really work well with Baby Yoshi, because obviously Baby Yoshi can't eat a giant piranha plant. So that's a bit of a miscalculation, but I'm not going to change my level design just because the player might have Baby Yoshi or not. I think that's fine. Down here is already the second star coin, or at least the pipe that leads to the second star coin. And this is a pretty cool bonus room here. It's very simple, it's not that difficult, but it's just a very fun application of the level's mechanics. In general, I guess I think this level is okay. It's not my favorite level, but I think it works. It's funny how the music for this level here is the athletic theme for the mod, I suppose. This is also a part of the title screen theme, and I heard the title screen version of this theme like a year before Rimea made the specific athletic theme version, and that just sounded kind of cursed to me when I first listened to it. Therefore, because I was so used to hearing the title screen version, it was just a bit weird hearing it as its own theme like this. But I've ended up really liking it, the music for this level. This red coin section here can be quite tricky, so I'm not surprised that I failed to get that. Also, bye, Baby Yoshi. I don't care about you. I'm gonna use another shell to kill another, or never mind, I'm gonna use my fireball to kill this grind the piranha plant here to get into another pipe. And we're running kind of low on time here. This bonus room here is very simple as well. It's just some rotating coins and a rotating star coin, and that's fine. Also, hello, 8-bit Luigi. I think I've kind of forgotten to point out some of the 8-bit Luigis throughout the past couple of levels, but I guess that's fine. And yeah, there we go. I think it's a fine level, I suppose. I also changed the background during the last couple of weeks of development because I wanted it to match the sort of desert aesthetic. So that's why the background has that sort of more yellowish cloud look. Alright, and now let's play 1-5, which is called Candy Tumble Cavern. And I think this is actually my favorite level in the mod, just because of how the mechanics here are used. So we have a very strange combination of mechanics. We have thwimps, which are these tiny little thwomp guys here that jump around. And we have climbable poles, which are retextured to look like candy canes. Also, hello, 8-bit Luigi. Yeah, and these mechanics don't really interact necessarily, they're just used as sort of like combinations throughout the level. And then sort of a secondary mechanic that gets introduced right here is the fact that these thwimps can also jump around on these moving brick blocks like that, and that just makes for a very nice platform that they can interact with, and setting that up was very fun, and I'm really happy with how this turned out as a like very natural feeling combination of mechanics, even though this was obviously never intended to be used like this in the original game. And yeah, I just really like the way these thwimps work with the brick blocks like this. This level is actually really short, I feel like, though I guess there's also a bit of a complicated bonus room if we enter this pipe over here. So this setup here was something that I originally intended to use in the main level and the main route. But I ended up like making the level a little bit shorter than I was expecting, so I use it for a bonus room setup here instead. And I think it's very cool. It's a cool idea, and yeah, just this whole interaction between these moving brick blocks and the thwimps, I think is just pretty genius. Honestly, I'm not sure whether that makes me sound arrogant, but like, yeah, I don't know. I just really love that combination. We can also check out the piranha plant ambush here, and as you can see, this has also been changed a little bit. The layout of the pipes is still the same as in the original game, but I used these remodeled or retextured glow blocks here as a way of having the player be able to kill the piranha plants instead of what it is in the original game, which is that you just have to wait for a flying question mark block with a star to come in, which I think is really lame. So that's why I changed it like that, and I think that works. So now let's play the final level, which is Cinder Stronghold, which I suppose, is this also, I think this is also the last level I made for the mod, I suppose. This came out like right before Super Mario Bros. Wonder released. And I think this level is alright. I think the main highlight for this level for me is really the star coin design, like the way that those are hidden. I think all three of them are really good, especially the last two. Like here, for example, how you have to lower these blocks like this, so you have to jump on the dry bones, and then you can get the first star coin, and you have to kind of like backtrack through the section you already played, and I think that's just really elegant how that's designed, I guess. And in general, the combination of mechanics here, the burners and the bolt controlled platforms works really well together. And here I use this this bolt controlled like lift thing that the player can ride on, and yeah, just I think it's a really nice combination. Like right here, how you have to lower the burners and then you can go through, and you can enter the pipe like this, which is really cool. I've never seen anything like that before. And speaking of which, another thing I've never seen anything like before is this setup here, which sort of almost doesn't work, but yeah, there we go. Moving burners on the platform like that. And there's also the final 8-bit Luigi down there. And yeah, this level is also very short, because this is basically the last section here with the red coin ring here. I wanted to have a red coin ring here because I like the idea of giving the player a power-up like that before the boss fight. Because I didn't want to hide the power-up in the traditional way, because instead over to the right here we have the third star coin, which this setup is also very cool, obviously, with the how you have to wall jump like this. And up here there's some coins, and now you can go back to the boss door here, and all that remains now is the vanilla Lemmy fight. At least we do have the custom music made by Reagin once again, though also once again this is just the boss theme used from Super Mario and the Crystal Crescents, because we didn't feel like making custom boss music for this mod specifically was worth anyone's time, basically. There we go. And as you can see, I also remembered to change this message here, so it says, you got all the star coins in Luigi's Lost Levels, thank you for playing the mod. Amazing. So now all that's left is to look at the credits. So here we go. Luigi's Lost Levels was made thanks to Rimea, that's me obviously, for levels and graphics, Reagent Music for music and playtesting, Dr. Tricky for music importing and playtesting, B1 Gaming for graphics, Willy Maker for graphics, and iHalf for playtesting. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment and whatever. I also have a Discord server for which there will be a link down in the description, and I also have channel memberships which allow you to watch my videos early and support the channel and that kind of stuff. Yeah, but thank you guys so much for watching, see you later, and bye bye.